Hello again, it's me, Nana. Yeah, as the weather gets hotter, you're really gonna see how more experimental my clothes can get. I wouldn't really call this experimental actually, just flowy and bright, because that's what we need for this weather. It's too hot to wear anything else. So a skirt it is, and then this top is just, it's like I'm not even wearing a top at this point. Anyways, today's drink is a dandelion tea that you would probably think, oh my god, why isn't she spilling it everywhere? It's because I already drank it. Yeah, that one went. And today is journal entry number 3. I almost put up 4, but that's 3. Here she is in all her glory. That's a bit loud. And please, for my sanity, don't mind the skin. Even if you didn't realise it, I realise. That's how life works. I tried a new cleanser. My skin's sensitive, especially to cleansers, even moisturisers, all of that. And yeah, this happened. And now I'm just like, I've not even been washing my face waiting for it to get back to normal. Obviously I wash my face, I just like don't do anything harsh, just wash and then moisturise, and that's literally it, that's my routine. And then sun cream during the day. That's literally all we do. So just hope and pray that that gets back to the way it was. So today's entry, which actually covers 5 pages, is one that's very familiar to me. Growing up shy. Like specifically more as a child, and how it's led me to who I am now. Yeah, aka this funny, confident, sarcastic, bluntly honest, amazing person. That's me. Definitely. The first thing I want to say is, it's not bad to be shy, obviously. Like, people are naturally shy, people are naturally quiet, naturally introverted, but it's when it like manifests into something bigger is when you should really seek for help. It's basically when you should really have a different mindset, or ask for that help, or just, if you know someone who's like that, ask them if they need help. That's basically it. But that's only where it gets to a point, because obviously like when you're a child and everything, people, especially like the younger you are, like when you're shy, and then people, strangers or like family or teachers, anything that come up to you and they're like, oh, she's just shy, oh that's fine, it's just cute because like it's like a little girl, she's shy, yeah, that's okay, she'll grow out of it, you know. No, never grew out of it. Me, never grew out of it. Damn, the wrinkles were crazy there. Wait, because what I just said just came from my head and how I was like feeling in the moment, but the first sentence here is literally, growing up shy is not cute, it's far from it. Detrimental in the long run. It has lost me so many opportunities and experiences. That basically sums it up. Cut, finish, we're done. Show's on the road, show's off the road, I mean, don't need to do this anymore. Since I have been conscious, because some of me was very much not conscious throughout my life, I have been quiet, you know, introverted, shy. You're gonna hear this word a lot throughout this whole thing. But it was very much far from my personality as a child specifically. Like as a child, I was crazy. I loved to sing, I love to just make mess. I love to play with my dolls. I had like 6 Barbie houses and like over 100 dolls. Granted, some of those were very much hand-me-downs from my sister, but that's what I was doing. I was destroying them. I was like Godzilla in the whole city of Malibu and Barbie. But anyways, that's how I was. I was very loud as well, very expressive, and I would also be expressive in the way I dressed. Like I had these black and white Dalmatian leggings that I wore religiously day after day, and I had like some Adidas trainers that were bright pink, orange, purple, and they were like flowers all around them, covered in flowers. And I'm just like, who gave you the confidence and the ability to wear these clothes? Which is kind of hypocritical because I'm literally in bright coloured clothes right now, but that's besides the point. And that personality, that imagination, that confidence, because I had crazy imagination. I think I was actually off the rails, like borderline should go get checked out imagination. That's how I was around the people I was close with. And this is probably like from the ages of like, from the ages to 6 to 9, because remember I said when I was conscious, I don't think I was conscious for any other time. And that's how it was. That was me. Yet the moment I stepped outside, the moment I went to school, even shopping with my family, even talking to like extended relatives and everything, I hated it. I could not do it. I was like an entirely different person. I just did not like interacting with people, and I still don't like interacting with people, but I think that's just me, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get over that. But I was especially more quiet, like I would not speak at all. As I got older, what did it do? It got worse. Yeah, that's the story of my life. Just gets worse every time. Anyways, but I think the primary suspect, the main culprit, the bane of my life, school was like the problem, or at least it amplified the problem very much. It was both basically my hell, but also it could have been really great if I did ask for help. Honestly, asking for help, especially as a shy person or someone who's more quiet, reserved, doesn't want to put other people in situations, doesn't want to interact with other people, it's really hard. But I realised literally, like, I had an epiphany like last couple of months ago, that if I actually asked for help during these times, during these situations, it would make my life so much easier. Because in my brain, not asking for help, it just like, it's easier for me because then I don't have to be in those situations, and then I don't have to get other people in those situations, then we don't have to go through the whole journey and everything. And also I don't think I ever wanted other people to know what I was thinking, what I was feeling. Like, that's it. I just wanted to be me. I wanted to be left alone. So I thought, not asking for help, that's just it. Like, that's it. And when I say not asking for help, I'm talking about like mentally, yeah, but also just in general with stuff. Like, I would never, if I was at school and I was stuck on a question, I would not ask for help at all. I would not ask the teacher, even if like they came round, especially when teachers were like, okay, if anyone needs me, I'll just be here, and they leave like the class to like do their work. I'm not gonna be the only one raising my hand. That means everyone's just gonna look at me, or at least that's what I thought was in my head. But honestly, asking for help is so much easier. It makes your life so much easier. I don't know, my language, my brain, my mouth is not working today, but it really does make your life that much easier, and I think it just helps a lot in general. So defo should ask for help. But that's not what I did. And I don't know why I'm quiet. Like, genuinely, I don't think anyone knows why they are the way they are. But maybe, I thought about this before, maybe it's because I grew up in a bigger family of 6. I was the middle child. Yes, middle child syndrome is very much real, alive, kicking and thriving, especially in my house. And also, I never had much to say, especially growing up. I think it's also the whole being in a big house, everyone has stuff to say, whether it's arguments, opinions, whatever. It's just constant blah 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 blah. And like, I never had the energy, I never had the time, I could not care to do any of that. So I never voiced my opinion, I didn't really care about any of that. That's another thing, I've never cared in my life. Like, I really don't care about anything, and that might sound crazy. Like, she has to care about something, but no, I don't. Even to this day, even now. Whether it's people, friends, job, the world, I don't know. Me walking down the street, I don't care about a lot of things. I feel very indifferent to the world and just living and whatever. But that's totally different. But anyways, yeah, I never had much to say as a child. I also think that I never felt I had similar interests to the people around me. And I got very overstimulated as a child, specifically. Still do get overstimulated now, but as I said, I don't care. I kind of grew out of that. There's another thing, the I don't care mindset really made me grow out of a lot of things, including being shy. Because at one point I was just like, okay, I don't care anymore. Let's just move on. I think that all just became a cycle that I was stuck in. And ultimately I became invisible, both at home, at school, just anywhere. But because I was invisible and because I was left alone, I was just left with me, my mind, my soul, I was happy with that. Not like happy as in like actually happy. Like, yes, I wanted to talk to other people. Yes, I wanted to have the social situations that my peers were in. I wanted to make friends. I wanted to do stuff. I wanted to like do plays. I wanted to participate at school, sports, whatever. But I think I was happy with the peacefulness and the peace of mind that I had being invisible. That did not last. As we know, as you get older in school, specifically, you're like encouraged to participate more. Whether it's in lessons, reading, school plays, like my primary school did a lot of school plays, and then sports or anything, like sports days, any social situation, you just get pushed and pushed and pushed, especially the older you get. And then suddenly, I am forced to be seen. Yeah, that put my child mind at like a craze. I was dying as a child. I was like, no, these people are not doing this to me, not today, no way. Just to get a little picture of my life, every school report that I've ever had throughout, from the ages of literally like, 6 to 16, it's been like, oh, she's great with the work and everything, like she's good at the work, she can do it and everything. Like, they're not worried about me academically. However, we would like to see if she interacts with her peers more, or it would be great if she put her hand up in class once. That's just the story of my life. And I think something that has stuck with me, literally like haunted me through my entire conscious living, to this day, to this point, to this hour, to this minute, to this second. And this is only one scenario out of the many scenarios that I've had that haunt me to this day, is when I was in like year 4 or something. Year 4 and year 6, you get made to do like a year group play. So your year group would do a play. And year 4, it was like Ebenezer Scrooge. No, it was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. And I vividly remember when like the class was sorting out roles and everything, the way they did it was just like the teacher would say the role and like whatever they do, and then you just put your hand up if you want to do that role, and then you get like signed onto the role and whatever. I don't know what my brain was doing. I don't know why I thought I was slick or something, but I decided not to put my hand up to any of the roles. I thought I could just go undetected and then end up not being in the play. That was funny, but obviously because I I didn't put my hand up, the teacher realised. Yes, she realised. And then she asked me what I wanted to do. I did not proceed to say anything. I said I don't want to do anything or whatever. And then she just put me into the only role that was available, which was the poor children. You know when like the ghost of the present comes and he's like all boisterous, like he's big and everything. He's like, I envision him just be like Henry VIII or something. He's that like loud person, but then like he unravels his cloak and he's got two poor, very ugly looking children at his feet, like scrambling through his feet. That was me. And that was me and another kid who I think was actually off sick that day, so he had no choice. But anyways, that was me. And the teacher didn't even ask like whether I wanted to have this role or not. I just got forced into this role. And I think that made it worse as well. And that's something I realised happened quite a lot growing up and in school, that I just get forced into these positions, or forced to do something that I didn't want to do, but then I would never voice my opinion that I didn't want to do it. So who's really at fault here? Yeah, so that was that. And then usually my mum would come on the day of the play. Every parent comes to watch their kid, obviously. And my bit was literally 5 seconds. It was where like the person who's playing the ghost of the present comes in literally for 5 minutes, and then it's me and this other kid sitting at his feet on the floor. And I was in like my school top that was like cut up and everything, some boots and some cut up leggings because obviously we're made to look poor and everything. And that was literally my position in the entire play. Like that was it. That's all I did. Other than like obviously the whole group would sing together, but that's a group thing. Like you're not going to see me. And usually my mum just comes to these things because she just does. But this time on that day, my mum was actually ill, and so my dad came instead. Yeah, which was a shock to me, and I didn't want. And because of that, and I think this is like the first thing my dad actually came to in my whole school career. I think it was actually the first and only thing. And because of that, I like physically, I hated it. I felt shame. Like knowing my dad was there watching, and it's just me on the stage for 5 seconds. I feel like it was a waste of his time, one, because you're not even like your child is not even on the stage. She's not doing anything. She's just sitting at someone's feet for 5 seconds and then she's off. That's her done. Like I feel like you could have left after that, but no, I had to watch the entire play and everything. And I remember walking home with him after. I like physically felt shame. Like I hated it to my soul. Like that's how bad it was. And from then on, I was just traumatized. And then I got more traumatized. And then I think at some point, well, not I think, I know at some point that my shyness did manifest into like some social anxiety thing. That's what I'm saying. That is literally the whole point. Like that's what I'm saying. If it does manifest into something bigger like social anxiety, where it physically inhibits you from doing stuff, then that's when you need to call it quits. You need to change something, or if you know someone who's like that, then you need to actually be like, what's going on? Anyways, wait, hold on. Off the topic. Do I look nice with short hair? Because I've really been thinking, I really want to cut my hair right. And I've really been thinking like about going real short. Because sometimes like my hair would just get like this, and I think, oh my god, wait, this is actually cute. But everyone around me, like everyone, loves me with long hair. Because especially I used to think that I could be Rapunzel, and I never got my hair from the age of being conscious to the age of, I think it was like year 9 and year 8, and everyone would love my long hair. It would go down my back and everything. Obviously it wasn't Rapunzel length, but whatever. And then I like cut it mid-length, and mid-length was so awkward for me. Like now I'm really thinking like, do I look nice with short hair? It's like I feel like I either have to have like short hair or like incredibly long hair. There's no in between. But anyways, let's get back to it. And when I thought it like manifested into social anxiety, I literally couldn't do anything. And this peaked during secondary school. I think from the years like year 8 to like year 8 to like year 9, year 10. That's when it really peaks. But then that's also when like other stuff was going on. Well, that's also when like other stuff was going on, and just being a teenager in general, especially what the environment I was in and everything, it's incredibly hard. It's real bad. So that just added to it. But then that's being a teenager, and it got to the point where I physically could not pay for stuff. If I went out with my mum, she would pay for me. If I went out with my friends, I would actually make them pay for me. Like if we got a drink or something and I'd be like, I'm giving you the money, I want this, pay for me. Obviously they'd be like, oh no, like, but then like they'd do it obviously. And that needed to change ASAP. And I would just like not do anything, whether it's at school or at home. Especially in this time, I would just sit in my bedroom and stay there the entire day, come down to eat, and that's basically it. I was basically non-existent at school, and I think like what really annoyed me at school was like the wheel of names or something, or like when you're a child, when like the teacher picks your name out of a lollipop stick, like a jar full of lollipop sticks. That, I think that actually fueled my shyness and social anxiety. Like that was my problem. I hated it with my soul. And another thing was reading. I could not read out loud at all to anyone, even if it was just like me and my teacher. No. And especially in like English class or whatever, I would stutter every 5 seconds, and then because I'm stuttering, I'm then thinking about it and it's making it worse. So you just get stuck in that cycle. Yeah, that was annoying. And because of this manifestation, the shyness, the quietness, it physically stopped me from having so many opportunities and experiences. Like I would physically not go to school some days because I know that this certain class is happening, or there's a certain teacher that I didn't like the way they was teaching. I genuinely skipped school because of this. And I also skipped like many social situations at school, like sports day. I had one sports day, I think it was in year 5 or year 4. I went to that sports day, and mind you, I'm a child here, not like below the age of 10 or something. And I didn't like it because obviously sports day, you're going against your year and whatever, and then everyone's watching you, including parents and children and teachers. I hated it, and I never went to a sports day ever again until I think it was like a year 10 one, or like a year 10 sports day or something. But then by that time I was also calming down with my whole social whatever experiences, and I was able to participate, even though I did participate in a relay race. And obviously like you've got every year watching you, you've got like year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, I don't think the year 11s are there actually. I was able to participate in a relay race. However, I think I blacked out, and the position I was in, I was like furthest away from the crowd so no one could see me, but I do think I blacked out, and when I came to, we didn't win obviously. So yeah, that happened. And also I just had so many opportunities. Like I had a chance to go to a ballet with my music class, which I love ballet, and I would have loved to seen this, but I could not do it, especially when it's like, if it involves traveling. Even if like me and my friends would be like, oh yeah, we're going here, like they make plans or somewhere. If it's somewhere I'm unfamiliar with or I had to travel, I physically like told them no, I couldn't go, and then I'd like talk about how I'm missing out. Like no one's stopping you other than you. I got the opportunity to do piano lessons as well at school. I didn't do that. And these are all things that like I would have actually loved to do and probably could have helped me. Also stop me from doing competitions, like when your school would hold a competition, or even like national competitions where like you can develop into. I think I actually would have loved to do all of that. Like I know I would have loved to do all of that, but I couldn't, because anyone's eye on me, no, I'm like combusting. Combusting. I'm either shriveling up like a grape or I'm combusting, one of the two. That sounds kind of crazy. So yeah, it lost me those opportunities, those experiences, but it also lost me the ability to actually perform well at school, or like any academics in general. Like I have never never performed to the top of my abilities, and I know that. But what am I gonna do? Can't go back in time now with the personality I've got and actually start doing stuff, can I? Even though I would choose not to. Yeah, you'll never see me back in those situations again. Never get me back in a school. If I ever step foot in a door, if I ever step foot in a school, kill me on sight. Back to the whole, it stopped me from performing. It just stopped me from learning in general because I wouldn't go to school. I realised I was very much, not different, but I realised that this was a problem from a young age. Because in primary school, I don't know if this is mine specifically or whatever, but in primary school, you would have like reading time where like this is where you learn to read essentially. Clearly you can tell that English is not my best. You would learn to read essentially, and in my class we got put in groups and this group would have a book to read and whatever, and then if you weren't like in the group that the teacher's in, because the teacher would go around to the groups like from different days and whatever, and then she would ask everyone to like read a passage and then she would see how you're doing and everything. The books were also dependent on like your reading level, so obviously some groups were better than others. And if you weren't reading, like if you weren't in that group that the teacher's with, you were just reading your own book. I would sit there, and even though like she's not with my group or not with me, I would sit there and I never read, and probably should have. I never read because I was stuck watching the teacher and watching the group because I didn't want at any moment for her to get up. Like I was sitting there like physically anxious, just literally like this, like I'd be like, and then it's just like, you're not even doing anything. I wasn't even doing anything. I was watching these people, very hypocritical, saying you can't have people's eyes on you, but then watching everyone else. That's literally it. And ultimately, I think that also paired reading with fear. This is how fears develop if you did psychology or whatever. Very much paired reading and the fear of being asked, basically. So I physically revolted reading. I hated stepping into libraries, hated reading time. It was disgusting. And even at home, we would have like a reading journal that you'd have to sign and everything, and it like in it you'd have to actually like put down if you read or whatever, and homework and everything. I did nothing at home. Home was like my safe space, like where I literally physically was left alone and could do whatever I want, be who I actually am. I hated reading growing up, and then it got to the point where in secondary school, obviously GCSEs and everything, English class was is like your main subject and whatever, along with like maths and science. Like you have to get those or whatever. I love the word whatever, don't I? You can tell that I wasn't confident in my skills, and also you can tell that I wanted to physically blow my brains out because I hated any English class. I hated going to English. I just hated doing it. I hated writing. I hated reading. And it was not fun. That was until I think year 9 or year 10 when I got put in a class with a teacher who really helped me with the reading. And then she didn't even help me with the reading. Like I'm just saying, like we never had a one-to-one. We never actually like expressed what was going on. It was just, I think I was just comfortable in that class and I was comfortable with that teacher. And she basically reignited the passion for reading and writing. And she was a great teacher. Like my grades went from basically failing everything in English to like a bare pass to like getting a C. Like I would get C's and everything. You may think that's crazy or that's not even good. It's plenty good for me because I physically hated those lessons. I've never ever finished an exam within the time. And I think that's also because of this whole reading scenario, that I've always been slow at writing, at reading. Like I know I've been much slower than everyone else, and because I've never finished anything fully. And I feel like if I actually had those chances to finish and everything, I would have got so much better grades and whatever. But that's it. And can you see from literally messing up one thing like as a child, or having that anxiety for one single thing like reading, it really messes you up in the long run. Obviously, can you not tell? I still can't speak to this day. And thanks to that teacher, it's like we never even spoke. Like, she was definitely closer with the other children, the other students in my class. Like, there was definitely some people she was real close with, because she was young as well. Like, she wasn't like some old decrepit person teaching English or whatever, which is kind of crazy for me to say. But she was like young, and I feel like she really understood, and she did help me a lot with my English, even though she never physically done something for me. She never physically helped me. I don't know why, I just felt so comfortable in that class. And then the way the way she taught, like, I loved the way she taught, so I think that really helped as well. And I actually like enjoyed going to English lessons towards the end of school. Like, I would have fun in those lessons. And I do like writing, obviously. Like, can you not tell? Look at the journal. I really like writing. Even like I also like the word like. Even fictional writing. Like, fictional writing. I love fictional writing and everything. And reading. Like, I got a collection of books here now. Like, I actually read. And that really helps. And another thing that helps, let me just, and when we was leaving school, so everything's done, GCSE's done, when we was leaving school, she wrote each of the person in my English class like a letter. And my letter did not have as much as any of the other students. Like, I saw the other cards, like the paragraphs, because she was closer with these students and everything. Mine, I think it was literally one sentence. However, it physically resonated with me. Like, I actually, let me see if I can find it, because it's in one of my books. I don't think it's in here. Hold on. Because I want to know, like, I haven't read it since I was like 16. And I can't exactly remember. I remember like the feeling and what its basis is, but I don't remember what it actually said. And I swear I put it in like one of my books. All my books are over here on my side of the desk. I love my desk also, like the way it's presented and everything. I need to do like a little desk tour or something, because it's really cute. Is it in this one? She also made us all like bookmarks, which I still use. I think it may be in my other section. Do you want to see? This is my mum's from when she was like 18. She got it like when she went abroad or something. Anyways, I found it. Whatever you are, be a good one. Abraham Lincoln. Dear Rihanna, despite not hearing you as much as I would have liked, I've always been... Hold on, because she's got the teacher handwriting. You know that I can never do teacher handwriting. Okay, I think I've actually got it this time. Dear Rihanna, despite not hearing you as much as I would have liked, I've always been impressed by your work and ability. I therefore hope in the future you let people hear you more and continue working as hard as you do. I think it's the I therefore hope in the future you let more people hear you, or whatever it was. I think that's really the part where like that shot me through the heart. Yeah, so she was cute, she was fun, she helped quite a lot. However, for me, I feel like there was more bad than good. And it got to a point where like in that stage of year 8 to year 10, that was really like my dark era. Let's not talk about that era because that was actually horrible. Anyways, I physically like revolt every time I see like a flashback or like a memory on my phone to like those times. I recoil, I like jump up in my space. Yeah, so I got very, very, very frustrated with, I think, adults, like people who are there, who are meant to help you, like role models and whatever. It's teachers, parents, teachers specifically. Like I was so frustrated that no one was recognizing that there was something going on. Whenever I say on, I'm so stuck. Because I love the way, like, I feel like it's like the New Yorker or whatever. I love the way, like, when I'm watching videos and people go, what are you on? Like, they put the real on. I feel like Nicki Minaj really does that. Sometimes I feel like I actually just, like, start going, okay, whatever, on. And also, I do that with, like, any accent. Like, I do a Scottish accent a lot. I do a Liverpool accent a lot, like, any Scouser accent. And it's just so crazy because I just love the way it is. And, like, I reference these, like, memes or whatever, but then also, it just physically, like, comes out. It just slips out. And, like, I've had people, it always happens at work. I've had people ask me, oh, like, where's your accent from? I'm like, see, I was born and raised right here. So, I don't know. But, yeah, that's that. So, I was frustrated very much with the people who should have recognized there was something going on. And not only that, they were, teachers specifically, they were recognizing other people's problems and whatever. Like, I had people in my year who was getting help for whatever they needed or were actually able to ask for their help. Yeah, I never ever got anything, like nothing at all. And I think that's also the whole being invisible, being quiet. Like, I don't think they want, I feel like some of them kind of knew something was weird. It got, like, more obvious during college, but I feel like it was like the borderline of they suspected something and she's just a quiet student. That's literally it. It wasn't even a problem with help. Like, yes, they was giving other students help, whether it's in lessons or whether it was mentally, like they helped these children. But then they was also giving away opportunities that I really wanted to other students because they thought it better suited them. But, like, I physically wanted these, like, I wanted those chances. I wanted the help, and I just wanted someone to actually know who I am. But it never happened, and that I feel like I started to build resentment to these people, to these teachers, even to my parents, because why is it that you can see when someone else is happening to someone else or something's happening to someone else? Why can you help them but then not help me, basically? Yeah, the person I built resentment to the most and was frustrated with the most, I realised was just genuinely me, because as I said, all of those things could have happened if I had asked for that help. There is nothing wrong in asking. It makes your life so much easier, and most of the time you get what you want. Like, even if you think what you're asking for is so out of reach, you're likely to get it. Just be upfront, be straight, and just ask. Like, that's literally it. I feel like I genuinely could have been so much if I had asked. But yeah, and that resentment towards myself, towards adults, it really put me in, like, a hole. I, like, dug that grave. I didn't just dug it. I dug it, I made my own coffin, and then I lied in it until, like, an angel or something grabbed me from beyond the grave. Pulled me out from the depths. That wasn't until later. Definitely that was not until later. The only time I've ever felt like peace in school, or I've actually enjoyed myself, was in reception, and then in year 11, when I was finishing school. Because then when you're in year 11, the teachers actually just let you go and do whatever you want. Like, they do not care. And then you're doing your exams for like half the year, you barely got any lessons. It's like, I was free and I loved it. And I also was in that mindset. Like, I grew into that mindset of I don't care, where like, I was fine with people looking at me. I was fine with doing these things. No, I wasn't the best at it. Yes, I definitely stuttered a lot of the times, and I definitely was, like, still anxious. I still felt that in me, but it was so much better. And then I started going out as well, like, out after school and just doing stuff, making plans. Like, I was actually able to do stuff. So those are the only times I ever felt peace of mind. But I wasn't fully, like, I'm not like I am now. Right now, I think is the best I've ever been. Yes, I think it's bad to not ask for help, and it probably generally is bad to not ask for help whether it's like mentally and like whether that's with your goals or like what you want to achieve. Yes, you should ask for help. It does make you easier, it does make it easier, and then it just gives it that security, whatever. But because I never asked for help, I also developed a trait that is very useful and I think is very good. I basically became crazy independent, where like, could you hear me breathe? That's crazy. I was like crazy independent. Whether it's at home, I just do whatever I want on my own, but then that's at home, like you just get left alone at the home. But at school, especially because I never asked for help during lessons, like if I was stuck on something, I had to physically teach myself. And I feel like, yes, some people might not get that, and some people probably wouldn't be as best if they taught themselves, but I was so good at teaching myself, or at least like I feel like that became a strength, that I could teach myself. And then I had that independence and everything. But obviously that stops at a point. It's stuff that I can't literally teach myself because I'm not experienced. I don't have the knowledge. And with my grades, I've never failed a class. Well, I failed like a couple, but I've never like failed a test or whatever. So there's definitely like nothing wrong with my academics. No one's ever worried about my academics. That was until college, because that was literally where I went plummet down. Like literally everything was harder. The syllabus was harder, the academics was harder, the quality, everything was harder. And like in year 12, the first year, I thought, yeah, this is cool. Like I was actually teaching myself during that year and everything. And also the teacher I had for some subjects were actually good. But then year 2, we went back into the trenches. We went back in that grave that I dug earlier. And that's when I realised, like I fully realised, that you need to actually ask for help, because I was skipping, I was failing, and basically you could not get into uni, even though I know I probably could get into uni, but that's not a choice I want to make right now. And I was just very isolated in the college, because obviously from the last video and everything, no friends, nothing, nada, zero, zilch, nothing, booked your uncle. So that's when it changed. That's when I was like, you are the problem. You are actually the problem. I always knew I was the problem, but I like never wanted to admit it. Do you know what I love most in this world? Money. Money is my soul. Money is my heart. Like, I've never had like romantic feelings for anyone in my life ever. I don't know when I will. I don't know if I ever will, because I don't even know if I have the capacity to do that. But if I ever did fall in love with something, or if I've ever gotten close, I think it's money. I think it's actually money. I think that's literally it. So obviously I had to get a job. I had a job at the age of 16, fresh out of school. Well, not fresh out of school, because I'm actually like the young one. I was like, I'm born in June. It's actually my birthday next week from the day I'm recording this. Maybe it might be closer when I actually put it out. I think literally just before I turned 17, I got a job, like a week before or something. So that classifies as having a job at 16. And because to get that money, you have to do what the job says, and then you're forced into social situations, you're forced to speak. And also I actually started asking questions. Like I would ask my manager, if my manager gave me a task and then I like didn't understand, or they didn't like explain properly, which actually happened quite a lot. That's another thing. I was really quiet at the start of my job, to the point where I never got taught some of the things that other people did at the same time. Like it took me 3 months into my job to learn how to do a certain task that I think my manager or my assistant manager was like, what the hell, what do you mean you don't know this? Like, because this was a basic thing that everyone knew, and it's something that the company I work for tracks. And then they were like, what do you mean you never got showed? I was like, bro, I don't know, because like I said, I don't care. I'm just there to clock in, clock out, and get the money. Like, that's literally it. But then I started to actually ask questions, and that's when I was like, wow, this is really easy, because I did ask those questions. And yeah, eventually it became regular, it became comfortable, and then that confidence went up. now I can do whatever. I go to London, I go out to eat, drink. I can do it by myself. I have done it by myself, but then I can also do it for other people. And now I'm the one that's ordering. Yeah, that is the best, like, that is the best outcome of this whole thing. I can actually order for myself now. I don't have to give the money to anyone else, just order for myself. That's where I'm at now. And that's this video. The basis of this is asking for help. Firstly, being shy, being quiet, being reserved, being introverted, all the synonyms, is not something bad. Like, it can be something, like, it can be a strength. Like I said earlier, I physically became independent and I taught myself these things. That for me, I think, is really a strength, because I had other people that could not do that. Like, I knew these people, like, they could not physically teach themselves whatever. They could not get handed something and then learn it in like 30 minutes and then pass it. Like, that for me, I was like, that was an ego boost. I was like, yes, I'm up. And then obviously it's not bad, because there's some people who are out there that like are confident but just generally quiet and reserved. It's like they're fine with everything. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. They're fine with everything. They're fine with life. They're fine with going through it. But then they just like prefer not to talk and everything. That's perfectly fine. Damn, these people be so loud. Shut up. Yeah, that's fine. But it's to the point where it manifests to something much, much bigger. That's when you need to like, we're changing up. But other than that, do not lose those experiences. Do not lose those opportunities. Do not lose those chances. Do not lose yourself just because you don't want to speak or you can't speak. Because you can get yourself out of that situation. You can. And that's by asking. Or you can just firm it like I did and just eventually grow out of it. But that might take a while. That might take a while to rethink that one. It's okay to be shy. Just don't prevent yourself from living. That's literally it. Do not prevent yourself from living a life. Go, have fun. Do whatever you want. Now I'm thinking of actually solo traveling. Like, that's how far up I am. I'm too big in my brain. Like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And it really is for the best. And I want the best for you. And I want the best for myself. And I want the best for myself. And I can't get that unless we're up. Unless I've got that confidence. Unless I can actually do something. And that's literally it. That's all we have today. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this one's not as long as the other ones, but right now I'm looking at 58 minutes on there. Oh yeah, I need to actually stop, but you know me, I ramble on too much. And also sometimes I just sit here and stare at the camera because like I don't actually know what to say. Like my mind goes fogs and whatever. But anyways, nonetheless, thank you for watching. Thank you for getting through it if you've got through it. Anything you want to say, do it. Reach out. I don't care. Literally, I don't care. So that's it now. Hopefully my skin doesn't look bad. But anyways, see you. Bye bye.